I mean, I was 17 and I got a ton of tattoos before I turned 18, like friends' basements and people that were learning how to tattoo. And I have a couple, they're not bad, but I would not mind if they were covered up at some point in time. And then 18, I just like went all for it and started getting tattooed. I am Aidan White. I tattoo. I do regular tattoos, cosmetic, and medical. I grew up between Philadelphia and South Jersey. Life wasn't the easiest, didn't have a lot of money growing up, didn't have the easiest life, but we made it work. I think that's a good thing. It kind of helped build me as a person and learn to appreciate a lot, learn how to value things, which is very important. I've never been handed just anything in life, so that was just a really good foundation for me going into my adult life, because I just have a different appreciation for things more. I don't need a whole lot in life. I like to just travel, have experiences, be around good people, appreciate what I have in front of me, and not take the small things that seriously. It was good. It was not good, it was bad, but it was good for how it shaped me as a person. I don't remember the first time I saw a tattoo, but I remember the idea in my brain that I thought I can mix art and put it on someone's body, and I could do something that's gonna last forever, and that's a job. And I was really young. I was maybe, I think like 10 or 12 when that epiphany popped into my mind that that's a thing and you could like build a career off of that. I didn't know the extent, but seeing tattoos at a young age, it always really interested me. I always knew I wanted to be tattooed. I always knew this is what I want to do. I just always constantly focused on artwork growing up. So if there was, really bad things going on around me, art. If something, messed up happened, I don't have anyone to go to, art. If I'm going through like my medical stuff, art. So like, it was always there. Tattooing is something I've always wanted to do. I've always connected with this creative side of me and who I am as a person. And so honestly, like going through all the rough stuff growing up, it just drilled that more into my soul. Like, this is what I want to do, and I know this is what I want to do, and I don't want people to feel bad. I want people to come to me and feel better. And it's nice because it's like a bonding experience, and a lot of people get tattooed when they're going through something. So it's nice to just kind of, be a part of that too, rather than the bad side of it. I got my first tattoo when I was 16. And my mom said, hey, if I take you to get your first tattoo, will you promise me this is the only one? And of course I lied and I said, yeah, this is gonna be my only one. I'm never getting another tattoo again. Meanwhile, I have all these ideas of what I wanna get done. So she took me, I got my wrists tattooed. That very popular saying at the time, stay true. I like it though, because it does still give me a reminder of like, don't lose yourself. Like it's just, stay who you are, don't change for the people around you. And as old and trendy as that saying was at the time, I'm still really happy with it. I'm glad that I got it done, because I look down, I'm like, all right, you gotta humble yourself a little bit. Like, don't stray too far, don't try to be someone you're not, don't try and put on a show for anybody. So I stay myself, and like, it makes me happy. I think my mom was in denial about me saying, this is my only tattoo. I think she knew in the back of her mind, like there's no way she didn't at least have that idea, but I was so good at just bullshitting, like, yeah, this is the only one I'm gonna get. I promise if you let me get this one, I won't get any more. I did a good performance when we talked about it, and I still feel like this spot in the back of her mind is thinking, oh no, she's definitely gonna go for it. But she didn't know I got tattoos between 16 and 18. So I think that also helped my performance to her as well. When I got the face tattoos, that's really what, like, we're not talking. Like, we are no relationship, no contact. We're not in each other's lives. And so yeah, that lasted a few years, and we had to like work through some things, and I had to show, hey, I'm a grown adult. I always worked really, really hard. I always had really good jobs, and the jobs before I had tattooing were all creative jobs anyway. I did like marketing and graphic design and advertising, like sales and business management, all these things that actually really helped shape when I started to tattoo. And so over the last couple of years, really showing how far I can take tattooing and what I can do for people and how it can help me and even like the different categories of tattooing, the standard tattoos, the cosmetic, the medical. She's like super proud of me now. She loves the tattoos. She even wants me to give her a tattoo now. So she has none, but she was like, yeah, I want a matching tattoo with my boyfriend. So we'll tattoo her at some point. Maybe we'll do it here and we'll film it so we can be like, this was you 12 years ago and this is you now. So it's like a nice evolution of where we started and where we are now. When I first started tattooing, I tattooed myself because I wanted to know what that was going to feel like for other people. And I figured, like, if I'm going to fuck someone up, at least let me fuck myself up for my first few tattoos. The first tattoo I ever did, I never actually finished it because I got so excited that I was doing it. I'm like, all right, this will like finish it another time. But it's like this rose right here. The second tattoo I ever did was this, another flower like on my leg that I also never finished because, again, I got so excited doing this. And I was like, I'll just do it later. And that was like 6 years ago, so maybe I'll finish it at some point. It gave me a really good insight on how to approach like what I want to do next, the creative side of it, what type of style I want to go for with just regular tattooing. So I was really trying to experiment when I first started tattooing. So some of my tattoos have meaning, some have none at all. Some are just, this was me practicing, here it is. Some of them are, hey, this is just like meant for only me to know what it is. Like the empathy that's on my face, I got tattooed about 8 years ago, and 99% of the time, it's always positive feedback. It's always starting a really good conversation with people. I remember when I walked out of the tattoo shop, everyone's staring and I'm thinking, is this what it's gonna be like now? Is everyone gonna be looking at me? Like, I don't want anyone to look at me. I want everyone to just look away. But it's always been a good conversation because of the word. It's not something like hateful or something that's negative. So it really does create a lot of really good conversations with people. A lot of people tend to come up to me and share their like life stories with me within a few minutes. So I try to be a nice person with that too. But yeah, it's like really positive. And I just also have tattoos that I like the artwork. So, you know, not everything has to have a whole lot of meaning, at least the way that I look at it. Like for me, when I started getting tattooed, I started to feel like myself. I started to feel like this is who I'm supposed to be. This is me. My arms are tattooed. And I started with like the upper part of my arm. When I got the portrait, people really started noticing because they're like, who is that? Is that your grandfather? Is it your uncle? Is this a person? I'm like, no, it's a fucking poet. Have you heard of him? So yeah, this tattoo was like very eye-catching to people. It was my first tattoo that you can visibly see because when I was 16 and 17, I was getting ones you couldn't see. So people were really looking at this and asking me all sorts of crazy questions. And I'm like, why is this the tattoo that I'm getting the crazy questions for? And then I had my chest tattooed, which is not finished, and I actually hate it. So this was a pretty bold one too that people were like, what the f is this? She has this blast on her chest. When we applied the stencil, it was so crooked and I hated it. And the artist was actually really pissed off to have to wipe it away and reapply the stencil. And when he did, it was still crooked. When he applied it the second time, I'm thinking, okay, he's really not gonna be happy if I ask him. And then what's he gonna do? Like, f up my tattoo while we do it? So just the whole experience was not good, but it gave me that experience to always consider like how someone's feeling, to not give someone off this energy like, I don't want to redo that, I don't want to do this. Like, I've been stuck with this for 10 years and I hate it and I just want it gone. So I look at it every day and it's there. So I just always think about that experience. I never want anyone to feel that way. It's not good. After that, I really took my time with figuring out who I wanted to get tattooed by, like what type of person they were, what type of work that they were doing. Like, so I was already kind of doing that, but I just took way more time doing it moving forward. And I stuck with a lot of the same artists over time. And I felt comfortable. So some people just did repeated work on me and some people I went to just once or twice, but all positive experiences after that. I'm really grateful for the pathway that came about from everything. I can't imagine a different scenario. I can't imagine things going differently. I'm just a very strong believer of everything happens for a reason, whatever that reason is. Yeah, like I went through a tough relationship with my mom and I went through some things, but I'm really glad I did everything I did. So I wouldn't change it. I wouldn't go back and do anything differently.
Alright, cool.
This is the best trio. I love this.
It's like a TV show, right?
Oh my God, yeah. You guys should do like your own bit.
Yeah. Our TNZ intersection.
Yeah.
We'll all have water bottles that we didn't get from the shop.
Okay, settle down.
Okay.
The chaotic three of you.